I died on March 15th, 2018, and what Jesus showed me about prayer will shake everything you thought you knew. My name is Mallory. I'm 72 years old now. Back then I was 64, living in Portland, working as a high school English teacher for 38 years. I had a massive heart attack in my classroom. One minute I was writing on the whiteboard. The next I was on the floor. Everything went dark. What happened next changed me forever. The pain stopped instantly. I felt myself lifting up. I could see the paramedics working on my body, but I wasn't in it anymore. Then I was in this place. Not a place really. Hard to explain. Light everywhere, but not blinding. Warm. Peaceful. And then I saw him. Jesus. I knew it was him immediately. Don't ask me how. I just knew. He smiled at me. Not like a stranger. Like someone who'd known me my entire life. Like he'd been waiting. Mallory, he said. His voice wasn't loud, but I felt it in every part of me. We need to talk about how you've been praying. I was confused. I thought I was a good Christian. I prayed every day. Sometimes twice. I went to church. I read my Bible. Lord, I said, I don't understand. He gestured, and suddenly we were sitting. Not on chairs. Just sitting. In this place of light. I'm going to show you something, he said. I'm going to show you the mistakes my children make when they talk to their father. Even the faithful ones. Even you. Jesus looked at me with such kindness. But there was something serious in his eyes too. Mallory, when was the last time you came to me just to be with me? Not to ask for something. Not because you were scared. Just to sit with me. I opened my mouth. Then closed it. I couldn't remember. You rush into prayer, he said. You treat the throne room of God like a fast food restaurant. Drive through. Place your order. Drive away. He showed me something then. Like a vision within the vision. I saw myself praying. Racing through words. Barely thinking about them. My mind already jumping to the next thing I needed to do. My Father is holy, Jesus said. Do you know what that word means? It means set apart. Sacred. Not ordinary. He quoted scripture to me right there. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Mallory, I didn't start with, give us our daily bread. I started with worship, with reverence, with acknowledging who my Father is. I started crying. I never thought about it like that. Most don't, he said gently. They forget they're entering the presence of the King of Kings. They forget the weight of that moment. Jesus leaned forward. Would you rush into the Oval Office and start barking demands at the president? Would you call your own children only when you needed money from them? No, Lord. Then why do my children do this with their heavenly Father? He waits for them. He longs for them. But they only show up with shopping lists. He showed me Psalm 100 verse 4. The words appeared somehow, written in light. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. The posture of your heart before you pray is just as important as the words you say during prayer. Jesus told me, you must start with reverence, with worship, with acknowledging who God is. But Lord, I asked, what if I'm in crisis? What if I need help right away? He smiled. Even in crisis, even in one breath, you can say, Holy Father. That's reverence. That's remembering. The words matter less than the heart behind them. Now let me show you another mistake, Jesus said. Suddenly I heard voices. My own voice. Prayers I'd prayed over the years. Almighty and most gracious Father, we beseech thee in thy infinite mercy and boundless compassion to bestow upon us thy divine favor. I cringed hearing it. It didn't even sound like me. Jesus shook his head. Do you talk to your husband like that? No. Then why talk to your father like that? He showed me Matthew 6 verse 7. And when you pray, do not keep on babbling like pagans, for they think they will be heard because of their many words. Mallory, God doesn't need fancy language. He doesn't need poetry. He needs your heart. Your real heart. Not the dressed up version. I remembered all those prayers. Trying to sound spiritual. Trying to sound worthy. Using big religious words I'd heard other people use. Some of the most powerful prayers ever prayed were 3 words. Jesus said, Lord, help me. Jesus, save me. Father, I trust. These move heaven not because they're eloquent, but because they're honest. He showed me something beautiful then. A man in prison, just crying. Couldn't form words. Just tears. Just groaning. That prayer reached the Father instantly. Jesus said, because it was real. Romans 8 verse 26, Jesus quoted, "The Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us through wordless groans." You don't have to perform for God, Mallory. You're not auditioning. You're His daughter. Talk like a daughter talks to her father. I felt something break in me. Years of trying to pray the right way, trying to sound holy enough, trying to use the right words. Just be honest. Just be honest, He confirmed. If you're angry, tell Him. If you're confused, tell Him. If you don't know what to say, tell Him that. He already knows anyway. He just wants to hear it from you. Jesus' expression became more serious. Mallory, when did you start only calling on God during emergencies? I felt ashamed. He was right. You pray when you're desperate, He said. When you're scared. When you're in trouble. But where are you in the good times? Where are you in the ordinary moments? He showed me my prayer life like a timeline. Gaps. Long gaps. Then sudden bursts when crisis hit. Then gaps again. Is this how you treat people you love? I shook my head. I prayed constantly, Jesus said. Luke 5 verse 16. I often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Not just when the Pharisees threatened me. Not just before the cross. Always. Daily. Regularly. Prayer isn't the panic button, Mallory. It's the breath. You don't wait to breathe until you're suffocating. You breathe to stay alive. He helped me understand something crucial. When you only pray in crisis, you're always in crisis. Your soul never gets sustained. It never gets fed. It's always starving. Build the relationship in the quiet, He said. Talk to the Father when nothing is wrong. Thank Him when life is good. Sit with Him when you're happy. Then when the storm comes, and it will come, you'll know Him. You'll recognize His voice. You won't be a stranger crying to a stranger. Jesus showed me Matthew 6 verse 6. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Daily bread, He explained. Not crisis bread. Daily. That's the rhythm. That's the relationship. But I'm so busy, I protested. He looked at me with such love. You have time for television. Time for social media. Time for worry. You have time. You just haven't made Him the priority. That cut deep, because it was true. Now this one, Jesus said, this is where most prayers fail. He showed me countless prayers. Mine. Others. All demanding things. All trying to convince God. All trying to bend His will. Mallory, do you remember Gethsemane? Yes, Lord. What did I pray? I knew the passage. Not my will, but yours be done. I was God in flesh, Jesus said. I could have commanded legions of angels. I could have stopped everything. But I surrendered to the Father's will. I showed you how to pray. He quoted Matthew 6 verse 10. Your kingdom come. Your will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. Do you know what most people miss in that prayer? Jesus asked. They rush past it to get to give us our daily bread. But this is the foundation. Thy will. Not my will. Thy kingdom. Not my kingdom. He showed me something that shook me. A woman praying desperately for a relationship to work. Crying. Begging. Fasting. That relationship would have destroyed her. Jesus said quietly. The man was abusive. But she couldn't see it. She thought she knew what was best. The Father said no to protect her. Sometimes God's no is His greatest mercy, Jesus explained. Sometimes what you're begging for is wrapped in poison. Sometimes the door you want opened leads to destruction. So what do? You pray for His will above yours. You trust that He sees what you can't. You surrender not just your words, but your desired outcome. Jesus showed me Luke 22 verse 42. His prayer in the garden. Blood like sweat. Agony. And still He prayed, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done. That's mature prayer, he said. Not demanding, not manipulating, surrendering, trusting, saying, God, I want this, but I trust you more than my own desires. What if I can't surrender? I asked honestly. Then pray for the ability to surrender. He said simply, pray, Father, I want my way, but give me the faith to want your way more. He'll honor that honesty. Jesus' face grew concerned. Mallory, you carry your burdens to me, but then you pick them back up and carry them home. You pray, but you don't release. He was right. I'd done it 1,000 times. Prayer is the exchange, he explained. You give me your worry. I give you my peace. But you have to actually give it, not just talk about it. He showed me Matthew 6 verse 25. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life. That's not a suggestion. Jesus said firmly. That's a command. Worry is sin, Mallory. It's choosing to trust your fears more than your Father. I'd never thought of worry as sin, as disobedience. When you worry, you're saying God isn't big enough. You're saying you don't trust Him. You're saying you need to maintain control. Jesus showed me something beautiful then. A child handing luggage to her father at an airport. She doesn't carry it to the gate. She gives it and walks free. 1 Peter 5 verse 7, he said, cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. Cast, not share, not manage. Cast. Throw it on Him and leave it there. But what if I pick it back up? Then cast it again, he said gently, and again, as many times as you need. But know this, every time you pick worry back up after prayer, you're calling God a liar. You're saying He can't handle what you gave Him. He showed me James 1 verses 6 to 8. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. You can't pray with faith and walk with fear, Jesus said. You have to choose. Trust or tremble. Worship or worry. You can't do both. Jesus paused. Now this mistake is subtle, but it's deadly. He showed me prayers again, all asking for things. Money, houses, jobs, health, relationships, all good things, all legitimate needs. What's missing? He asked me. I studied them. Then I saw it. They're only asking for physical things. Yes, Jesus said. They're asking for earth, but forgetting about heaven. They want comfort, but not character. Provision, but not transformation. He quoted Matthew 6 verse 33. But seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Most people reverse this, Jesus explained. They seek things first, hoping the kingdom comes as bonus. They want their circumstances to change, but their hearts to stay the same. The Father cares about your needs, he continued. He cares about your bills, your health, your job. But He cares infinitely more about your soul, about who you're becoming, about your character, your holiness, your transformation. Jesus showed me a man praying for a promotion. Nothing wrong with that. But he never prays for humility to handle that promotion. Jesus said, He never asks for wisdom to lead well. Just give me the position. Give me the money. What happens? He gets the promotion, but he's not ready for it. His pride destroys him. His lack of character ruins him. The blessing becomes a curse because the person wasn't ready for the elevation. This hit me hard. How many times had I prayed for things without praying for the character to steward them? Before you ask God to bless your business, ask Him to purify your motives, Jesus said. Before you ask for a spouse, ask Him to make you ready to be a spouse. Before you ask for more, ask Him to transform who you are. He showed me James 4 verse 3. When you ask, you do not receive, because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. The kingdom first, Jesus emphasized. His rule in your heart. His righteousness in your character. Then everything else finds its proper place. Jesus' expression became very serious now. Mallory, who are you holding a grudge against? My sister's face flashed in my mind immediately. We hadn't spoken in 4 years. Over something stupid. Family inheritance. Harsh words. I see her. Jesus said quietly. I felt defensive. Lord, you don't know what she said to me. His eyes met mine. Full of love, but also truth. I know exactly what she said. I was there. I heard every word. I also heard every word you said back. And I forgave both of you before you even said them. That stopped me cold. Matthew 6 verse 12. Jesus said, "Forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors." This isn't optional, Mallory. You cannot receive what you refuse to give. He showed me trying to pray with this unforgiveness in my heart. My prayers hitting a wall, bouncing back, never reaching heaven. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks prayer, Jesus explained. When you refuse to forgive, you block your own access to the Father. But it's not fair, I said. She hurt me. And you hurt me, Jesus said gently. You've hurt the Father countless times. With your words, your thoughts, your actions, your pride, your selfishness. And He forgave you, every single time. He showed me Mark 11 verse 25. And when you stand praying, if you hold anything against anyone, forgive them, so that your Father in heaven may forgive you your sins. This is non-negotiable, Jesus said. You want your prayers answered? Release those who hurt you, not because they deserve it, because you need freedom more than you need to be right. I started crying. How do I forgive when it still hurts? Forgiveness isn't a feeling, he said. It's a decision. It's choosing to release them from the debt. It's choosing to stop replaying the offense. It's choosing to bless instead of curse. The feelings will follow the decision. Jesus showed me the cross, showed me Himself, bleeding, suffering, and praying, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. Luke 23 verse 34. If I could forgive from the cross, He said, you can forgive from your living room. That broke something in me. Years of bitterness, years of justified anger. It all felt so petty compared to what He'd done. Your breakthrough is on the other side of your forgiveness. Jesus said, your sister isn't the problem. Your bitterness is. Release her and watch what God releases in you. Jesus smiled now. This last one is important, Mallory. Very important. You pray. But do you expect? I wasn't sure what he meant. When you pray, do you genuinely believe God will answer? Or are you just going through motions, hoping maybe something happens? I felt exposed. I try to believe. Trying isn't believing, he said. Hoping isn't faith. You're God's daughter, not an orphan knocking on a stranger's door. He showed me Matthew 7 verses 7 to 8. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks, the door will be opened. That's not maybe, Jesus emphasized. That's a promise, a guarantee. But you have to pray with faith, not fear. He showed me James 1 verse 6. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. Doubt empties your prayers of power, Jesus explained. It makes you unstable. You say, God can do anything, but you don't really believe He'll do it for you. How do I get more faith? By remembering who your Father is, Jesus said. By remembering what He's already done. By remembering that He loves you. You're not bothering Him. You're not inconveniencing Him. He wants to answer you. He showed me Daniel 10 verse 12. An angel appearing to Daniel. Do not be afraid, Daniel. Since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to them. From the first day, Jesus repeated, your prayers are heard immediately. The answer may not come immediately. The manifestation may not be immediate, but the hearing is instant. So even when I don't see results, even then, he confirmed, silence doesn't mean absence. Delay doesn't mean denial. The Father is working behind the scenes. Trust the process. Jesus touched my shoulder. When you pray, expect. Expect Him to hear. Expect Him to move. Expect Him to respond. Not always in your way. Not always in your timing. But always in His perfect wisdom. Pray like you know who you are, He said. A daughter. Not a stranger. Not a beggar. A daughter with full access to her Father's house. Jesus stood. I somehow knew our time was ending. Mallory, you're going back. You have more to do. But I need you to change how you pray. And I need you to teach others. How, Lord? Everything I showed you. Start with reverence. Speak with honesty. Pray daily, not just in crisis. Surrender your will. Release your worry. Seek the kingdom first. Forgive everyone. And expect with faith. He looked at me with such love. Prayer isn't about performance. It's about position. You're my daughter talking to your Father. You're not twisting His arm. You're touching His heart. Will they believe me? I asked. When I tell them? Some will. Some won't. But that's not your concern. Your job is to share what you've seen. Then he said something I'll never forget. Prayer isn't just communication, Mallory. It's transformation. When you pray right, you don't just talk to God. You become like God. You start thinking like Him, loving like Him, acting like Him. That's the real power of prayer. The light started fading. I felt myself being pulled back. Remember, Jesus' voice echoed. Reverence, honesty, daily communion, surrender, release worry, seek the kingdom, forgive, expect. Then I was back in my body, gasping, pain flooding back, paramedics shouting, hospital lights. I'd been dead for 12 minutes, they said. Brain should have been damaged, should have been a vegetable. But I was fine, more than fine, changed. I'm 72 now. Years since that day. My prayer life is completely different. I don't rush anymore. I don't perform. I don't just pray in crisis. If you hear this testimony, don't dismiss it. Test it. Try praying the way Jesus showed me. Start with worship. Speak from your heart. Pray daily. Surrender your plans. Cast your worry. Seek His kingdom first. Forgive everyone. And expect Him to move.